All right, so I just cleaned this honey extractor. Man, that is something else. If you've never seen inside one, it's got this basket that holds the frames, and it's got the motor on top that spins. It's got a variable speed, and it spins the honey. And then it's got the gate valve here that we can open up to let the honey drip out. There's a little bit of water left over from where I was cleaning it. But yeah, I'm getting ready. I think tomorrow night might be the night to extract some honey. So there's, I think, 12 frames. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Yeah. So one frame, I actually made some comb honey out of, which was really cool to make and a lot easier than doing this extracting. But we're gonna extract the rest because I want to put the rest in jars or bottles or something. So anyway, exciting times. Not in the bee yard anymore. Gonna extract some honey. So here you can see I've gathered the frames that are full of honey and that are capped over, and of course I have to uncap that to get to the honey underneath. So I've got a hot knife that I'm gonna hopefully slice down through the cappings. The cappings will fall into the bin, and underneath is just pure golden honey. Now, this was, as a beginner, one of my mistakes here. I've noticed I did not securely attach that wooden bar going across, so you'll see it move a couple of times here, and that was just a dumb mistake on my part. I was too anxious to go and start uncapping, and I didn't take my time to make sure everything was set up right. There's a lot of things to think about when you're doing this, but I gotta say, I did find that knife that's heated very easy to use, but I also noticed that it seemed to be melting some of the wax straight back across the open capped cells. So what I did try doing a manual knife as well, but I'm still not sure, and it's probably just a technique that I have to get used to. But otherwise, this was really great at collecting the honey that also falls off with the cappings, because if you notice, that bin has it's a bin inside a bin, and it also has a gate valve that I could use to collect the extra honey, which I got about a half a gallon from. Oh, it smells so good. And you can see honey dripping down in the bottom there already. It's gathering. Yay! Helps if I turn my camera on. So here you see the spinner spinning these frames so fast that the honey is flying out of it and flinging around up against the walls. You can see how the honey is getting thrown up against the walls there, and gravity and the fact that it's kind of warm in that room helps that honey just start to run down the sides. And oh my gosh, it smells so good when this is going on. The honey is almost aerosol. There's just very little droplets in the air, and you can just kind of taste it in this room. And you can see the cappings, the wax cappings that have been cut off of these frames, and a lot of honey comes with those when you cut those off, because they stick out quite a ways on the frames. And so that honey falls down through that grate on the bottom into the bin. And now you can see here The honey is coming through that gate valve as I continue to spin more frames so that the honey, look at that beautiful golden color of that honey. And oh my goodness, it tastes so good. It goes through a sieve first, and then it goes through a more fine mesh on top of that bucket there. That way it captures all the bigger pieces up front, and then the smaller pieces get caught on the other.
We're collecting here. I want to say that this 5-gallon bucket is probably about half full. I had 12 frames, medium, super. All of that was honey. Although, as beekeepers might say, I think there was some pollen in there at some point. Although I'm not sure. I hope it wasn't in the honey, but it might have been. But that's okay. We'll take it. Look at that beautiful honey. There it is coming through the screen. I just had a little bit of leftover that I put in there, but look how full that 5-gallon bucket is. It's got to be 2/3 full, if not more than that. And there is still honey down in the bottom of this. I've put all the cappings, or most of the wax cappings, in this fabric mesh so that I can squeeze it out. But here soon I'll tip this up on its end and try and get some more honey out of that. But before I do that, I'm gonna start putting some of this in jars. So I've just set the dishwasher to clean a bunch of jars, but I'm gonna go hand wash a couple of jars so that we can document actually pulling that first jar of honey out of here. Yay. I think I need to put something on the floor. My floor has got some honey spots on it that have gotten dirty that I need to clean, but I'm gonna put some parchment paper down there in case it drips without me realizing it. All right, guys, got these beautiful bottles here. We are gonna start filling some of the different varieties of bottles that I have and see how we can do. I really like these.
So I sped up the video a little bit here because as I was just getting used to how quickly the honey would flow out of there, this took quite some time, but I was getting used to the finesse that I needed to use with the gate valve and how that would go. But man, it worked out well.
I don't know if you can see that, but it says 8 ounces of pure honey. It's got a nice little cork to go in the end. I think that's pretty. We got a glass honey bear jar. Got a little bit of droplet of water. Of course, being shaped glass, it's a little bit more difficult to get it completely dry in all these little shapes and these little nose.
So as you can see here, I'm getting a little bit easier, a little bit better at controlling the flow of honey. It also helps that these glass bear jars had a lot wider jar opening than the apothecary style bottle that I did right before this. But you can see how well that's flowing out, and I get it pretty close. And then I get a little honey dripping off of there. And no, I didn't put that in my mouth. Not at all. No.
So joyful. here's the honey bear. I think that's very cute. Now we've got a beehive shape.
So this beehive jar was quite nice as well. I think that's a very, very classy jar. It also has space for a sticker to be placed on it too if I wanted to. My thought is, as I move forward, that I might be able to put a sticker on each jar that I do that states which hive it came from, which all of this, of course, comes from London if you've been following my videos. And I can put the year that it came, that it was harvested, and things like that. And then my YouTube channel, if people wanted to see the video history of where the honey came from, which that's kind of my goal.
So beehive shape. Very cool. And some of my little mini things. Well, I'm going to continue to wash jars, bottle the honey, but I got to tell you what I've tasted so far is fantastic. I love that these bees have provided this such wonderful honey for us to consume. So tomorrow I'm going to go out and make sure I'm giving them plenty of sugar water, make sure they've still got plenty of stuff, and make sure we're taking good care of the bees, because that's what this is about, is taking good care of the bees so that we can enjoy some of this sweet honey. And also, this is my first attempt at comb honey. So you'll see, wasn't completely capped over, so I don't think this is going to be considered a high quality. But as a first attempt at honey, at comb honey, I believe this is actually not a bad start. So I'm not one that's ever tried comb honey to enjoy, but I plan to. Thanks for watching, everyone. More bee stuff soon. Take care. Adrian Has Bees. Like and subscribe.